Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. It looks like it's going to be a nice intimate one today. So we're going to get to answer each and every one of your questions, hopefully. Sean, are you driving somewhere? Nope, you're on mute. Be safe. I see a seatbelt on.
I'm waiting at Walmart for my groceries.
Gotcha. Okay. Sounds good. Hey, Kebra, nice to see you. Great. So let's start. Does anyone have any questions? If not, I can walk through some cool things.
I I was on mute, of course. I wanted you to meet my husband Louis. So
Hey,
sorry.
Louie. Nice to
I
meet
wanted to meet
you.
my husband Louis. Unless you were a lip reader, that was not going to go well. So
Nice to meet you, Louie.
Nice to meet you.
we came with questions.
Go for
But
it.
we also don't want to monopolize your time. So if there's a better place to ask questions, um,
No, today is just office hours, so you get to come with any questions that you have.
okay. Well, I don't. Is it okay if we start then?
Please, please do. Yes.
All right.
Okay, so we're playing with custom AI prompts to create not a video in this case, but just custom AI images.
Mhm.
One of the questions we had was when you're building the custom AI prompt, one of the options is to ask survey questions there.
Mhm.
And when I watched your video from last week where you kind of walked through, that process. But I also see that for the event, the flow section has survey questions as well. And I guess I'm trying to understand when to use which.
Yep, great question. So the survey questions in the custom prompt are specifically for the custom prompt. Easy way to think about it is like the aesthetic versus the content. So we'll say the content is a firefighter. You could have a question that says, do you want this to look like a photograph, a painting, a mural, a collage, etc.? That would just pertain to the prompt itself. If you have the question outside in the flow stage, you could utilize that for tokens. Sorry, I should use for a variable. So, for example, in a baseball card or collectible card, you could ask someone their name and then use that variable on the card itself as text or just for data capture. So, those are the two main differences. One is going to affect the prompt itself, and that prompt can live in multiple events, or you can do it in the flow stage and do something that's more overlay related or just data capture.
Okay. Can you also do a survey in the event to like if I have an event where I want to use potentially three different custom prompts and based on the user's choice, can the survey questions in the event then like each choice then somehow flows into one of the three custom prompts I created?
I wouldn't do it that way. Here, let me go ahead. Do you learn better watching or do you learn better doing?
Either way, yeah, I think watching is fine.
Okay, cool. So let me go ahead and share my screen.
Yeah,
So
especially since you're recording.
if I were to now go ahead and create an event, let's call this choices. And I'm going to now go into my flow stages. I'm going to go into choose experience. How I would handle what you're doing is one of two ways. One, you could make a folder. Oops, a folder, and let's just I'm gonna kind of use a sexist example here because it's the easiest way to do it. But like for example, this would be boys. And then this would be blue prompts, right? And I can add an image for that. And let's see what I got. So for now, we'll just do this. We're going to add a folder. I'm going to add another folder. And now I'm giving optionality. So then I can go ahead and add a template within one of these folders. And these would be two separate templates. So now if I go into my simulator, I have the ability to now choose two different lanes. You
Okay.
could also at this point have specifically just three different prompts here that people could choose. Can you walk me through an example of what you're imagining and I can play it out with you?
So okay, let's simplify it to two for the sake of the example. So if we're doing a soccer event and we want to either make somebody look like they're a goalkeeper
Yeah,
defending versus a field player kicking the ball.
great. We actually did something very similar for the US Open, where you were either a ball
Mhm.
person, a player, a trophy winner, or someone in the stands. And what we did in that
Mhm.
case was we just had four prompts that people chose from with a thumbnail of each. So that's how I would actually handle that.
And they were in folders, meaning
You wouldn't even need to necessarily do folders in that case. You would just have four exposed prompts. So, for example, here, we go back to this. Let's remove these and let's just do, for example, add template. Let's create a new template. Let's just keep it simple and do a square here. Let's add a capture. I'm going to go to an AI output on this. Going to add AI image. We'll select a prompt. We'll do baseball in this case. We're going to do one. I'm going to be a little sloppy here because it doesn't really matter. I'm going to call this baseball, which in this case you could call goalie. I'm going to duplicate this. You could create a new one if you wanted. It's just the easiest way to get the same settings. And I'm going to call this one now basketball. I think we have a basketball. And I'm going to go back to my capture, select a prompt, and yeah, basketball.
okay.
And Sir Gwan, do you have a question?
No, he just said okay, but I might have a question.
Sounds
Uh, so, can you like you could it's a one by one, right? And I could go into Canva and I could design uh
yes.
okay, now I'm going to change. I'm changing to the Kentucky Derby here. But I could, if it's someone in the stands, I could put like a mint julep cup,
Yeah, you could put anything you
and
want.
load that, right? And then, or a jockey saddle.
I'm just,
So, okay. So, but I could design that in Canva, upload it, and that becomes the image they see to choose.
yes. So for example, here, let's pull this basketball. I'm going to save this as desktop basketball. And then let's find a baseball. Now let's go back over here and let's go to baseball and let's select our thumbnail. We're going to upload that thumbnail for baseball. We're going to upload our thumbnail. Oops. Upload our thumbnail for basketball. And now on the refresh here, you'll see baseball and basketball.
Perfect.
So any image you want
Score.
can be there.
Okay.
Yep. What other questions
Do
you
you,
got?
do you have your, did that answer it for you?
Yeah, I think so. And I may have to rewatch the recording when that's
Yep.
available.
But then,
So yeah, another question was, um, sometimes I feel like the AI generated image doesn't quite look like the same person from my test selfie that I use as input. And is there phrasing that you might recommend for improving that?
Yeah, there are a lot of little tips and tricks that you'll learn over time. So for example, do you have a specific prompt that you're working on now? We can pick it up and play with it a little.
Yeah, it's kind of long, so I don't know if I could. I mean, I'd have to.
If you want to,
Is there a way to cut?
yeah, if you want to cut and paste it into the chat, that would be great. And then,
Oh,
Okay, I'll cut it. I'll send it to you, and then you can put it
no,
in.
you can send it to somewhere and then you can put it in.
All right.
I'm not the technical one. Uh,
Here, I'm gonna put it in chat, and then I'll come over to your computer.
okay.
and
I'm not on the Zoom. She is.
if you want to give me a little bit of detail as you're coming or sending it through, what is the prompt
Yep, yep.
itself?
Yeah, it's it's the soccer player thing. So all right, so
I'm trying to get us here. Would it be there?
probably yeah, go to the
Okay, yep.
and copy paste my block there,
I'm getting it.
and and then
Copy.
go back to your Zoom, and I guess there's the chat box here.
Yep, hang on, I
Yes.
gotta move it. Slide it over. Almost there. Sorry.
Oh,
No
got it.
worries.
Okay,
Got it.
and then go down here on chat
Yep.
and paste it into message everyone. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming at you.
Cool. So let us go ahead and just drop this in as is. I'm going to select a test image. And I'm going to generate that just to see where we're starting. Oops, let's call
Great.
it.
Yeah, great. We're using your token and not mine.
Great. So using an accurate representation of my face from this selfie of me, create a photographic magazine quality action shot of me as a field player on a women's professional soccer team. So this you may want to just pull out on a soccer team. If you wanted to do
Yeah, I was going to variabilize that one, but I this is just a building it.
Mhm.
This is the prototype.
Do you have a training out there where or did you encourage us to create a fictitious logo to use so it doesn't accidentally generate one you shouldn't use?
Just see what I put that in there.
I was reading his description
Yeah.
and I was thinking that you had mentioned something like that.
There are a few different ways you can do this. So, yeah, this, I will give it to you. This does not really look like what we're going for. So what I would say is, if I'm understanding, you want it to be an action shot of somebody playing soccer in
Yes.
a not specific uniform. Okay, so I'm going to do this in a few different ways. I'm going to go into now Gemini. And I'm going to create an image. And I am going to go, these are kind of not what I want, but I'm going to just say here, please create for me a flat lay of a soccer uniform with the colors, shout out two colors.
Yeah.
Teal and red, right?
Teal and red, and the logo should be a soccer ball with a ring around it like Uranus has. We want to see the cleats, the socks, the shin guards, the shorts, the uniform in full, the shirt, etc.
Yeah, and then you're going to use that as another input into the prompt.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try. So, and then this way
Okay.
we'll get a little bit of a reference image. I helped someone with something similar to this around baseball recently, so I think this will work. So here we go. And then I think what we're gonna now say is like, remove all logos other than the soccer ball.
Right. Because I see Adidas
Yeah,
and
I've noticed that my images, even though I have phrasing about using
Yeah,
branding, it's still putting Nike swooshes and Puma hats on
100%.
the jerseys.
It's just the data set is so large for
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
talk about get your brand known.
Cool. And then do we want to give it a team name?
I don't know. I mean,
It doesn't have, we don't have to.
for this example, probably we can go keep it simple.
Okay, cool. And
It may be for certain events that we want to have the event sponsor be the team name, but that's a later thing.
let's do that now just so we can swap text and we'll try it out. So let's add team.
You know, it's a corporate event. You could have the corporate.
Sure. Fly, any thoughts on the corporation?
Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to unmute it.
Oh,
Karina.
hi.
Hi. Purina, maybe? Purina, like dog food, cat food,
Sure.
animal food.
Oh, Purina.
Have you
Purina. Good
have
one.
you all been watching Rooster?
No,
There's a new
I have
show.
not.
There's a new
Is
show.
it a good one?
It's very weird. It's entertaining. I haven't decided if I liked it or not, but one of the main characters works at Purina, and every time she says it, she says, like the dog food. Okay, so Pictor, let's change it to so this way we'll get numbers on there and then we can add in some optionality there as well. Great.
That's perfect. That looks great.
Cool. And now let's save this to the desktop. Let's see. This is where I like can't stop. I'm like, okay, now we got AI. So now what is it like a soccer ball?
Nikki, did you happen to get any pictures of that gal that did the animal event in Vegas? Like any?
I don't have any that I can share.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had a couple pet people reach out to us recently, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of offer them something similar.
I can show you quite simply how to make something like that, which it's a lot simpler than you'd expect.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's go back over here now, and let's go into our references, and I'm going to call this Purina soccer uniform. And I'm going to go to that last one with the cute little doggy. And I'm going to just use the same thing here, create. And now I'm going to abort this because I don't know exactly what's not working in there. So I'm going to just walk you through
Yeah.
how I would do it. So my my LLM of choice is Perplexity, but this would work in any of them. Hi,
Will you ask it to create the prompt?
yeah.
Yes. Perplexity.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to upload a selfie and I would like you to create a repeated generative AI prompt that I can use to create an image of, well, I want 4 images in the same style. I want them all to be photorealistic, look like sports journalism. And I need a prompt for me on the field playing soccer, make it really awesome with me, like kicking the ball and dirt flying everywhere. Another of me that's more like a publicity photo holding the soccer ball. What are the other two? Louis?
Oh,
Uh,
diving to prevent
the goalkeeper.
goalkeeper diving to prevent score
Great. And then the fourth one
of spectator.
is a spectator in the stands, kitted out in the
With the
uniform,
official gear. Yeah.
Yeah.
clearly in the stands. We actually just did something very similar like this with Home Depot for an event this past week. Okay, so I'm going to take this. Oh, and then I'm going to say, because I'm lazy, I'm going to say swap out all mentions of uniform with Purina. What do we call it? Purina soccer uniform. Okay, so this is our base template. Every one of them is going to be the same.
Do
And
you have your perplexity pretty trained though on what you want? Because you know how like you talk to it long enough and it knows how to reply.
sorta, I wouldn't say, these things kind of have goldfish brain anyways. So even though yes, to some degree, no also at the same time, it's really like if you give it the context of I'm trying to do this so it works for people of all different shapes and sizes, the same prompt has to work. It will typically do that. And so I haven't fully tuned it here, so let's see what it does. And then we'll go back in and I'll say, okay, that's not looking like I want it to, etc.
And these are probably more ideal one person at a time in the photo versus multiple people. Like,
Yeah. For a soccer prompt like this, yeah.
For non-soccer events, does your AI support multiple people in the selfie that you can
Yeah.
then put them in the generated photo?
We can modify the group one so it will work well with a group of people. Oh, sorry, the stands. And so we're still not getting a lot of likeness here, which I don't love. But we are getting the Purina uniform, etc. We did get a
yep.
Adidas logo, which I don't like. So I'm going to go back into the prompt and say, so this is a great start, but when we upload a selfie, it doesn't actually look like the person. So make sure to insist that the selfie is the reference image for the person, the subject of the image. Also, if you could modify the prompt for the fans to work for a group of people. So it could be a single person or a group of people based on the input image.
Yeah, so you just voice dictated all of that.
Yeah. Oh, I have a plugin called Super Whisper that I love. There's a paid plan and a free plan. I've never needed to upgrade to the paid. Sorry, I've never needed to upgrade to the paid one. Just put a link in the chat. I love it.
Whisper.com.
Okay. So let's
Thank you.
one more time.
I think I've written that down every call so far. That and Perplexity. I'm sure there's another one or two. Selfie of myself. Um, repetitive AI generated. You start to hear common phrases, and I'm like, okay, I better remember that one. And you usually mention something about when you're offering people an option of male or female, that 13% of your audience recently has chosen not to claim either of those,
Yep,
fluidity.
which I
And
think is
so,
interesting as well.
yeah, things you remember.
We are still not getting the proper reference here, and I'm not entirely sure why. Let me do one thing over here. Just want to try something simple.
Do you ever use wording like, keep the eye distance the same and the eye color the same or the facial features? Like,
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
ever specifically?
The other thing that I find changes the look is like if you change their facial expression, or for
Yeah.
example, like
Mm,
show their like if they're smiling or things like that, because if they don't have their mouth open, you don't know what their teeth look like.
right, right.
Yeah, because I think that was my first example was I used a smiling selfie, and then it showed the soccer player smiling the same way. It didn't look natural.
Yeah, he should have had a more determined look on his face. Like he had his leg flown up in the air kicking a ball with a big old smile, and it just sort of was like, things that wouldn't happen for 500.
Right? So what I've done now is I'm not changing the facial expression, and I'm also going to make sure that the player is making eye contact with the viewer.
Okay.
And I'm going to just start simple here and see what we get. Let's do oh, I see what's going
Eve's
on.
getting
This is doing something. It's saying the same person, but it's not actually what I wanted to do. So it's like it is daisy chaining these. And what I actually want is, can you actually give me 4 separate complete full prompts? We should not reference anyone from previous prompts in the other prompts. So each prompt should be its own unique prompt. I don't want to have a variable for now. Just give me 4 separate prompts that make sure that the image we upload looks like the selfie of the person that is going to be in the output. Save a lot of time if you actually read these, and I tend not to if I'm on these calls. Okay, so let's try here. This one I think will likely, oh, there we go. So we're starting to get that, but we lost the Purina uniform there. So let's do this. And
Eve's getting a workout today.
yeah, I'm going to add the Purina reference image back in, which we forgot in that last one. But interestingly, I think
Okay.
this gave us the real Purina, or closer to the real Purina logo.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Along with Nike.
Mhm.
I think that's starting to look more like her, though.
Yeah.
Mhm. How many of these can you have? How many of these prompts can you have on a screen? Is it maximum 4?
No, depending on the screen size and the rotation, you can fit 3 across on a horizontal or 2 across on a vertical.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't recommend ever having more than 4 options because I think people
Okay.
get paralysis. There we go.
Oh, that's good.
So we have now, by reading the prompt and making sure that we weren't referencing several other people, we now have Eve. It looks like her.
Mhm.
I do still see a logo here for Adidas, so I'm going to just say like no additional logos, no Adidas, no Nike. See if that works. And now we're gonna say we could say jersey number should be 22. Let's see if that works.
And you can make one of their questions be
Jersey number.
no, because
You could do jersey number, but you have to do drop down. So I was actually just thinking you could
Right.
say like,
Yeah, I think we talked about that in the last call. Yeah.
yeah, it could be like, what's your favorite number between 1 and 10?
Yeah.
Or you could do favorite digit and then second favorite digit, and then it gives you a 2-digit number.
oh, well, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah. You said that anytime you give them the text field, it gets the race to the bottom.
Yeah.
We laughed.
But while we're doing that, let's go in here. So we can say you. So let's try that. Pick a number, 0, 1, oops, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4,
Yep.
5, 5,
Yep.
6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. Oops. And so the 22 worked here, great, but we still got that Adidas logo. So what I'm going to do is go back over and here and say that these prompts are working a lot better, but we're still getting logos other than the ones we want. Can you please make sure to make it implicit that there should be no logos at all other than those in the reference Purina soccer uniform?
Well, does the reference have the?
Okay.
He was just dictating that.
Go
Right.
on.
Sorry.
No worries. Go for it.
Does the reference have the Adidas in there? Is that the problem?
Oh, let's quadruple check. No, at least not that I don't,
Okay.
not that I see. I find also since we don't actually have a negative prompt, sometimes by putting in that no blank, it actually encourages it.
Mhm.
So let's try it one more time. Kayla, did you have any questions?
I don't think so right now. I'm actually just working while you're working on this. I'm working on a kind of like 1930s, 40s rubber hose illustration of a comedian on a stage in Pictor. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So I'm just
Nice.
working on that.
We'd love to see it if it looks great.
Well, the first one looked great. The second one had three arms. So we'll get that fixed.
Okay, so we still got those logos, but it looks good now. So
Yeah, I don't mind tweaking from there if
sounds good. Let's call this soccer holding ball. Let's save it. Let's go ahead and do another one just to see where we are. Let's do the goalkeeper.
While you're queuing that up, I only have one last little question.
Yeah, please.
When you know like you create a file like where you've like
your
right
media,
there where the files
the media.
in the media.
Yeah.
So like where Eve lives, and you did a really smart thing by naming that file something that started with a letter towards the beginning of the alphabet. And I did a really dumb thing and named it like test, which puts it at the bottom. Can I rename that so I can move it closer to the top?
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, you can. So you just select it. I'm not going to affect the change here because I'm referencing that file right now.
Oh, okay. I see it. I
Right.
see it. Perfect.
You can
Oh, wait, no, it's the folder to the left.
Folder
The
name.
the folder's over on the left.
The folder name,
Those.
not the image name.
Can
No,
I change the
not at the
Okay,
moment, but you can search for it.
right. Okay. Okay.
And so, for example, like I have my video assets that I try and remember to put all in one folder, but I don't always. They're not showing here
Yep.
because we can't reference video, but
I'll just be so much smarter naming future folders.
so here I am trying to
Oh
predict
yeah.
the goal. We're still getting those Adidas logos, but we can keep playing for that. And I can say that like this looks a little bit like a face swap, and we want to make sure it looks realistic. These outputs look a bit like face swaps, and we want to make sure that the face that we put into this and the person that we put into it reflects the person's true face, but not looking like a face swap. As well, we also want to make sure that we have their body type correct, skin tones, etc. Can you please update these prompts to do that? So really, it's just like if it's not working the way you want it to, just tell it what you want different. The more context it has, the better.
Better.
Cool. Let's see this one through. Kayla, is what you're working on for a specific event or just something that you're excited about?
Yeah, it's for a specific event. It's for a fundraising gala.
Cool.
Yeah, I actually just dropped my most recent output into the chat.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad at all. I was actually
Working on it.
it reminds me Roger Rabbit era. I was like
100%.
talking about that the other day. Like as a kid, I was obsessed with that movie, obsessed. And there really hasn't been anything like it since. And like
Mm-mm.
if you watch behind the scenes for that stuff, like the movie A holds up and B, it's just incredible the use of practical and rotoscoping, etc. It's really, really, really very cool.
hmm Yeah, it's coming together. So
Oh, that's
keep
fun.
working.
Yeah, classic cartoon era.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
See how this one pops through. So that one I do think looks more like me. And it also looks more consistent with it. The irony here
Yes.
is that it doesn't look like we're protecting the goal. It looks like we're protecting the back left side of the goal. So once again,
Yeah.
the aesthetic and content of these look amazing now. It looks exactly like I was imagining. For the goalkeeper, though, can you be clear that we are blocking a ball from going into the goal? Right now, it's rendering out with me behind the goal, and that is incorrect. So we want to make sure it's a wide shot of me in front of the goal, keeping the ball from going into the goal. And I'll just ramble on and on in this. That's why I like the dictator.
And it's Super Whisper that's doing that, or is it Perplexity?
Perplexity has its own talk model in it, but I prefer the Super Whisper because I just have a keyboard command and I can use it across the board anywhere. And also noting that it did get my jersey number correct there.
Yay.
And I think that the way we did the uniform worked really well too. And for some reason that Adidas on the socks, I don't know why it's happening, but we could fight with that a little bit more. And the way I would probably do it is just say, we keep getting the Adidas logos on the socks. How do we prompt to not have that?
Mhm.
Do you feel pretty good about it?
Yeah.
We feel pretty good on this end, just so you know.
Cool. Any other
Like
questions?
13 minutes for everybody else on the call. That's horrible. Thank you, everybody, for sharing Nicholas so generously with us.
Oh yeah, of course. This one, it looks like we're getting further from what I want, and that happens too. So sometimes what I would recommend is actually bailing, because at a certain point, like it stops getting where you want it to be and just modifies differently. So you can take your kind of learnings and try it one more time and say, hi, I'm trying to create a repeatable prompt where the output looks like the selfie that I've uploaded. I want to make sure it maintains the look and feel of the person, body type, skin type, etc. I also want to make sure that it doesn't look like a face swap. It looks like a real photo of the person doing this. They should be wearing and this I'm putting in quotes, a quote, Purina soccer uniform, end quote. And they should be guarding the goal. It should be a wide shot from the ground up of the person in front of the goal, deflecting a ball from going into the goal. And sometimes it helps to just start fresh. Because if you've ever played with like Gemini's image generator, like at a certain point you get diminishing returns on what you're trying to do.
We just moved to a pixelated screen. We can't really see what you see, but that's okay.
Gotcha. In the recording, hopefully you'll be able to. Cool. So we'll run this one through and we will see what this new output gives us. And then we will wrap up. And so I think what we're going to be doing is every Wednesday, we're going to be having the show and tell. I like it because it's a great time for us to get to chat with you and see the things that are and are not working. I also did a deep audit of our help documentation, and out of the 55 articles that we have up, 2 of them are A-OK and the rest need attention. So that's my other place that I'll be focusing a lot the next few weeks. And anything that you have questions about, please don't hesitate to reach out because I'm sure you are not the only person who has that question. So if you bring those here, we can also work on them together. Yeah.
So, I know, and I may be the only person like this. But like I have read everything in the help section. I have watched so many videos, and I kind of need a training that says, hey, this is the first section. This is what all, and I have used AI. God bless AI. It's so patient with me. This is what this section looks like. What does this button do? What does this button do? What does this button do? Because I know how I want things to look when it's done, but I
Yeah,
don't always know where to go to make it look how I want it to look. And so I need a super remedial, like where most people would just turn it off because they could be like, how could that person be so dumb?
sure.
But yeah.
And that's for the design of the flow stages specifically, or
The flow stage would be great. And I know you do a pretty good video on putting together a video. But and actually I know, like, right, I know you're talking flow stage, but honest to Pete, like it's all four stages, right? You got to get all four stages together for the thing to entirely work.
sure.
So if you did one training on just the first part, and then another little training on the second part, and then another little training on the third part, then a person who knows nothing could go in and go part by part by part and get their entire event together.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we can work on. And as part of
Thank you.
auditing all those documents, that is something that we will be doing as well. I think we
Great.
break it into smaller pieces just because I think watching a really long video isn't helpful, and also for the help documentation,
Yeah.
breaking it into like this is what this section does, this is what this section does, is you can piece them all together versus trying to, you know. So that is great feedback, and we will definitely be working on things like that.
Thanks. Thanks.
Cool. Kayla, any questions from your side?
Nope,
Sounds
none from me.
awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. I hope that we were able to answer some questions for you. And if anything else comes up, please hit the support chat, hit the support email. And if not, we'll see you next week.
Sounds
That's
great.
great. We'll see you.
Congrats
Thank you
again,
so
Nick.
much.
Oh, thank you, Kayla.
You're welcome. That's exciting.
Yeah,
Bye.
super exciting. Bye.